Is Mom all right?
I'm Danielle. I have 7 kids and I homeschool. If anyone was going to be crazy, it would be me. Please take your seats. I am Miss Hogan. You can call me Miss Hogan. I want to teach my children to love learning. I don't want them to think that learning is school, and once you finish school, you're done learning. 1. The first thing, the most important thing, I need you to ask yourself, what model am I using?
Model, a system or thing used as an example to follow or imitate.
No, I'm not taking questions at this time. Only when your hand is raised, please. If you have had any influence at all, friends, family, teachers, your own experiences, your parents, things people say, you know that there is a strong influence of what education should look like. But you're homeschooling. You're schooling your children at home. So you are not taking the model of an institution and trying to replicate that at home. You are creating your own model. Your model needs to reflect the value system you are teaching your children. 1. Number 2, your model needs to work for your family. Number 3, your model needs to work for the individual child in your home. And you got to watch this because you will be going about your homeschool year and suddenly you start feeling all of this pressure. And it's because the influence of that system and what everybody thinks, our whole culture thinks education should look like, is pushing against your mom brain that says, I want to do the best for my children. I want to be everything they need. I want to give them the best education possible. Education is a lot more than academics. Have a schedule so your children know the routine. It can be a soft schedule. It can be a routine that is able to shift and is fluid, but write down that schedule. This leads me right into the next point, and that is have an end time. I do not homeschool past 1 o'clock. So going into this next school year, there's going to be 5. I need to be scheduled, but I also need to know that I will be crazy if I say, okay, we're going to get all of this done as long as it takes. What a way to burn yourself out. What a way to burn out your kids. Schedule out 4 days of homeschooling and then do your 5th day as something special or something different. Like we do our 5th day as a science day. Like Friday is science day. Quiet time. You need to implement this in your day. So I have a lot of different ages. So I like to schedule this around the baby's nap. Reading time for all of the older children. And a lot of times I have them all on the couch so that I can keep an eye on them. That time is for you. It's your time. This is a time for you to just regroup. This is a time for you to do whatever you need to do to stay happy, to stay pleasant, to stay patient. I like to go into my room, set a monitor up to make sure everyone's getting along. Go into your sanctuary, go into your special place, wherever that is. Have your cup of coffee, have your cup of tea. In order to not lose your mind, homeschooling and having your kids here all the time, you have to be free. You have to be free to change things up. You just do. You have to be fluid. That's not always easy for everyone's personality. In fact, it is not easy for mine. I've had to grow in this leaps and bounds. Be free to surprise them. You're doing school, things aren't going great. You can say, drop down and give me 20. My boys love that. Shock them right out of their inability to learn. You can do that. You're not a public institution. You are a home. Be free to surprise them. One morning I came down with my husband's Excalibur sword and I just laid it on the table and let the boys touch it and look at it and draw it while I read to them. I'm not going to tell you to be creative. That word particularly because I don't feel like I am creative. I am much more rigid in a lot of things. So it makes me feel like I get an instant twitch. Be creative. You can do this. Just be creative with your homeschooling. I'm like, oh, just someone tell me what to do. Someone tell me how I do this right. I'm going to say instead of be creative, just be surprising. A little thought will come into your head. Go with that. You're the teacher. There is nothing I ever want to do without Jesus, but parenting is one of those things that you should never do without Jesus. You just need him. You need him. Every single minute of the day, I need him. And to know that as far as my patience extends, his patience extends even farther. And I can tap into that all the time. So if you really want to not go crazy when you're homeschooling, stop and spend a little time with Jesus, and that helps us get through the day a little bit better. Are you ready? Stop saying you're going crazy. Stop saying you're overwhelmed. Stop saying you can't. I'm telling you that you can. You can homeschool your own kids. The best place for them to learn is actually in your home because you love them more than anyone else. And you have their best interest at heart more than any institution will ever have their best interest at heart. So just stop. Stop. You're not going crazy. You're perfectly capable. And instead of saying it and causing that feeling of craziness to become the biggest thing, say, I can do this. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me. You can do it.